Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Taylor Jules. She has just released a fantastic new track called Helicopter, and I'm super excited to talk to her all about it. Taylor, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy life to do this. What is up? What is happening?
Well, first of all, hi, Austin. Thank you
Hello.
so much for having me, taking time out of your day, excuse me.
This is my
Uh,
job, and it's a great job because I get to talk about awesome music.
well, this is absolutely a pleasure for me. It's been a very big build up for the last couple of years, getting back
Yeah.
to the normal swing of producing and getting things out there. So I am incredibly happy to be here right now talking to you about
Nice.
this.
Yes, life has been crazy. It's always crazy, but at least we have music to fall back on.
Always.
And as I mentioned before we started recording, I've had obviously the opportunity to listen to the song a few times through. It's gotten better with each listen, and I truly, truly mean that. And I love to kick these off by just asking, like, what's it about? I could make my own connections, but I've got you on the line, so let's hear it.
Absolutely. I mean, I always like for people to be able to interpret it in a lot of different ways or kind of create a song
True.
that's semi-poetic to be able to kind of relate to people in a lot of different ways. But I'll tell
Yeah,
you my kind of more intention behind it, and
of
people can
course.
take that or adapt it into their own lives as they
Yeah.
please. But basically, it's just I like to write a lot about relationships and dynamics, friendship or otherwise, and
Yeah.
the things that we go through growing up and in the last couple of years of my life that I've experienced or others have experienced. And I really take those with me, and I like to write about those. It really helps me connect to, myself and others. So this one specifically was definitely influenced by the, ebb and flow of a fleeting romance, conflicting emotions of having this fiery, amazing romance when you're together, and then maybe not feeling it so much when you're apart, or having one of the players fly away and helicopter and fall apart and then come back and hover back toward the other person. So it's just about that kind of ebbing and flowing and knowing that your helicopter is going to fly away one day and you have to be okay with it. You are okay with it. And the
Right.
character in the song, let's say me, I am okay with it. I know what's going to happen and it's worth it. Those good experiences and that time together is worth the helicopter flying away and maybe never coming back.
Well, it
So
sounds incredibly relatable for all those
yeah,
that are in the dating pool and
that's
just
my
going
goal,
back with,
tell the
yeah,
stories of everyone, not just myself. Tell the stories that everyone can relate to. And even if it's a specific
exactly.
situation, have those layers that I know a
Right.
lot of people can relate to.
Totally. Well, I don't need to know specifically if this is about you or not, but maybe just in the grand scheme, do you ever feel like there's a weight lifted off your shoulders when you write these songs? Just like, because some people write in diaries, some people just
Right.
have vent sessions with their friends, some people write
Right.
music. So, how does that work for you?
This is my diary. You're right. This is
Oh,
specifically for this song. This was taken from a lot of different experiences and maybe like messed around with a little bit in order to create a more through story. But
yeah.
every time I have a situation I don't know what to do with, I'm feeling emotionally conflicted about any which way I don't know what to do or say, I write it down. I write a
Right.
poem, I turn it into lyrics, I write music, I just play a simple chord to the piano and let the words flow out. No matter how I end up doing it, that is it. Music is my diary 100%. And
I love that.
it's such an amazing relief to be able to, get that out. It's a really great creative outlet, honestly. I didn't know it was so great for so long until I started realizing that getting these thoughts out were stopping them from making me so nervous and anxious and whatever throughout the day. I was far less conflicted. And these things were now sent out into the universe and I could breathe and relax again. So I started
Right.
using it, right? So it's not only do I love it and feel a great connection to writing songs, but it just helped me tremendously a lot. Like it
I'm
really,
sure of it. I mean,
yeah, no, it did
how
great
could it
things.
not? You're literally
Yeah,
at your most vulnerable state writing music.
right.
Also,
It's
for
cathartic.
people that, yeah, exactly, people that don't know you are going to hear these songs and kind of feel like they know you. I think that's the
Exactly.
weird part about being an artist is like you have
Right.
listeners everywhere and people know your stories, but they don't know you as a person. They kind of do. It's
Right.
complicated.
No,
Oh,
definitely. And with my songs, I feel like I put a very personal touch into it that maybe I'm not willing to share with some people sometimes. So
sure.
it's definitely a way people say they get to know me better when they listen to my
Yeah,
songs.
no, totally. It's a veil over you as a person, whatever you're
Definitely.
comfortable with saying.
Definitely.
In terms of like actually starting out creating these songs, do you feel like the songs start always with your lyrics or personal experiences? Or I guess in terms of like instrumentation, like do you play any instruments and you're strumming along or doing whatever and it starts that way?
Honestly, it entirely varies. Sometimes it varies by
Okay.
the genre, sometimes it varies by maybe what I want to do with it, or if I'm just purely getting out my emotions, I might start with the words.
Yeah.
But if I'm attempting to write a song for a certain reason, if I have an idea in my head or I have an assignment for something, or if I have a reason, a real reason to write a song and not necessarily get out my emotions, it kind of starts a little bit differently. Or I'll just sometimes it starts as simple as I do play piano and I've been playing for years, and I used to play
Awesome.
guitar as well, but I kind of put piano a little bit more at the forefront, but I love
Yeah.
both. But I'll start at the piano with a nice chord, and I'll find one that I resonate with and go from there. Play. I
Yeah.
know enough music theory to be able to, like I know what chords are
Exactly.
in a key and things like that, so I can play around and find sounds that speak to me, and I kind of just go from there. I do a lot of things just kind of from a feeling, heart kind of perspective, and just feel what feels right and let the words and the melodies and things flow out of me. And a lot of times it ends up just writing itself because I'm allowing that kind
Right.
of veil to be lifted. So it kind of just unfolds sometimes. Sometimes it takes forever, but
Awesome.
sometimes it takes 10 minutes because it's all just there in
Totally.
front of me.
Yeah, I feel like so many musicians nowadays, if they're either just starting or they don't have total background, like that music theory that we hear so much about plays such
Right.
a massive part in starting.
Right.
I know that you're currently at University of Oregon and you're in the
Mhm.
music program. Have you found that like anything you're learning there is having an impact? I would hope because you're probably paying an astronomical amount of money to be there. I would love to hear that.
um, yeah, no, absolutely. I have absorbed a ridiculous amount of information, to be honest. It is really incredible. One thing I always tell people about this music program is I'm a popular music major, which is
Got it.
basically I can kind of do a lot of different things. So my concentration is voice and I play piano. So I take classes for both, and I take music theory and oral skills and piano skills, and we take music history classes and sound design classes and digital classes where we work in like music editing software. And then I have a class where I'm in now where we use just analog equipment from the 70s, and that's all we do. We don't touch
Awesome.
any digital equipment at all. And
No, that's
so
incredible. That
no,
sounds like even if
exactly.
you don't like even if you're just a casual listener of music,
Right,
I feel
right.
like that could be the most fun thing to do in the
No,
world.
you don't have to be a music student in order to understand
Yeah,
the things I'm able to learn at this school are incredible, just
yeah,
absolutely incredible. And the way that they connect to so many other disciplines too.
sure.
I've always loved school. And so I like when lots of interdisciplinary subjects come together. And when I'm in one class and I go, oh my gosh, it's just like this and just like this. And I can connect them all together through different academic spheres and say, wow,
Right.
this one idea has so many different links to it and so many different parts of the world and humanity and culture and society. Just it's just a great way to contextualize information and to really learn things in a
Awesome.
meaningful manner.
That's
So
so cool. I could
sorry,
talk
getting
about
back
that
to the
for
original
no,
question.
no,
I've
no.
learned
I could talk about that for days. Like that type of thing. Because like
right.
I mean, I'm obviously the one asking the questions, but I also play music occasionally, like super casual. But I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the theory or the blah blah blah. Like
And sometimes you
that's
don't
what I
have
would
to.
like.
Putting it
No,
out there,
you
you
don't have
don't even
to.
have to. It's
Totally.
nice. It
Yeah.
helps with writing
Yeah.
songs and chugging things out and doing little things. But
Totally.
as a person who went by feeling and by ear,
Yeah.
it can be done, I promise.
Yeah. But I am almost 100% positive it streamlines your process a little bit, knowing the background and blah
Just a
blah
little
blah.
bit. It
Okay.
makes things
Cool.
make sense. I had when I was growing up and doing all these different performances and singing in all these groups and pretending I really knew what I was doing,
Exactly.
that I created my own music theory basically. I created my own little language where I would have my own little things, and I later learned that was I was replicating music theory, but I didn't know what I was doing yet. So you start
Boom.
to notice those patterns and things anyway. So for sure it'll streamline it, but I've known a lot of people, including myself, to kind of figure it out slightly, and might be written differently, but the
Sure.
conceptually you start to understand the patterns of things. You start to
Yeah.
understand things. So it's quite
Well,
nice.
I will be looking out for the book that you write 10 years from now because I'm sure that your own
Look
theory.
out for it. It's
Yeah,
already in
I'll look out.
production. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect. It's pre-production. It's in your head.
Pre-production.
Almost there. Okay, so in terms of like your sound, your style, it's obviously very rooted in pop. But one thing I liked about this song particularly is that it does pull from different styles. I assume that there's plenty of fun production elements and other things that you learned and all the fun stuff that goes in. Do you have any plans to potentially experiment with your sound, try new things? Who knows? You know, some people say yes and people say no. It's up to you.
No, I'm just laughing because you're opening a whole can of worms.
And that's what this is. This is literally called We Talk About Music. And if we're not talking
We
about
talk.
music, then I mean, like,
Let's
what's the
talk then.
point?
Let's talk about
Yeah,
it. No, I want to be as experimental as possible. You know, I grew
sure.
up being lending my voice to a lot of different sounds and
Okay.
learning how to write songs in every single genre possible, picking random things and learning how to write in those ways, or having to sing different genres and just learning it on the spot. So I'm not only have been very experienced doing a lot of things, but I have a passion for a lot of different types of music. So I really
Yeah.
can't see myself truly staying in one lane, even if I tried. Because even when I
I
write
like
songs,
that.
even if I try to write a certain song, if I try to sit down and write a song exactly in the same vein as Helicopter, I promise you it will not be. And when I'm trying to not,
Yeah.
it probably will be. Just because there's just millions of sounds and genres and things in my head. And, so I love them all. So they kind of just collide a lot of the time. So I am looking forward to a career where I can branch out and do a lot of
Yeah.
different experimental things and really continue to explore what I like.
Totally. I mean, respectfully to you, like you're still very much in the beginning of your hopefully long and fruitful musical career. I don't think it would be a good idea for you to stay in your own lane and just make this thing,
Right.
especially now that we're living in this era where the future of production is here and
Right.
literally at the tip of your fingers, you can just click
Right.
a button and completely shift
You
whatever
can do anything you want.
sonic atmosphere. Yeah, it's really nuts. So I don't
Right.
know. It's also
No.
inspiring for anyone who's just starting out to know that like you don't have to have all the answers. Like there's just so much to discover. You never stop learning either.
No, you never stop learning, you never stop
Totally.
growing, and you don't have to pigeonhole yourself in any sort of way. You don't have to. Today's day
Yes.
and age is incredibly experimental and new, and obviously incredibly uncharted territory in terms of technology
So,
and even
my
the
God.
music industry now. We've seen the rise of TikTok. Things are never like they've ever been before, and they will
No,
continue to never be like they've been before. So
I
I just
agree.
see this whole route of change and growth and in any sort of way. And I just see no reason to limit ourselves creatively or otherwise because the world is not going to do that. The music industry is not going to limit us. So why not just
I
be the ones to
agree.
branch out?
Yeah, if you're not making stupid videos on TikTok, like what are you doing?
Right.
Which is a whole nother conversation, but save that for next time.
Yes.
Um, okay. So I want to keep getting a little bit more into this. I want to know, like, obviously, you're not new to music in any capacity. You've been doing this. You've gone from start to finish and making songs. Is there one part of the entire process, and I truly mean the entire process from dreaming up the song, from hitting the submit button at the end, that you look forward to the most? The thing that you feel brings you the most energy and feels like this whole process is worth it. I know that was a lot to process. So
No, I'm thinking for sure, but because there's
okay,
just so many good things. People tend to ask me
yeah,
that. There's just so many parts of this that are just so rewarding and make me truly
sure,
deeply happy. But one thing in particular is, it's definitely difficult sometimes to take an idea out of your head and really express it. And that's something I've been working on a lot recently and
yeah,
learning a lot more music technologies and stuff to really be able to fully translate my idea and at least
of
even get a
course,
sketch of it out so that other people can understand and maybe help
right,
me who are better apt at those things. But I think truly when you express your idea and somebody's helping you or coming back or they send you an idea and they say, "How about this? Is this what you were kind of looking for?" And it's just right in the sweet spot.
yeah,
When somebody
totally,
understands your artistic vision,
yes,
it's just an incredible feeling because again, it's just really my deepest inner desires and thoughts and
totally,
wants and heart that is really being expressed. So when somebody else can understand that, even if it's not words, musically, the
right,
same thing is put into that. If they can understand my intention and the heart and the soul behind it, it's just incredibly rewarding. You're doing
totally,
something right because people can one connect to it and two understand. That's like a really big thing because like ever since I was a child, I can hear full like musical compositions in my head. I can hear full songs
awesome.
that I can try to sit down and write. But a lot of the times I hear seven instruments at once. I can't get that out necessarily.
No, no.
Even a voice
Yeah,
memo,
I'm
like
so happy you brought that up.
right.
Coincidentally, no, it's something I was going to ask you about, but let's just get into it right now. You operate as a solo artist, at least your name. I assume that it's not just you, on the computer doing all the bells and whistles. Like, you have to have a team, you have to have certain people in your sphere that understand you, and it's like if you, like you seem to have found, can find someone that makes those connections and seems to be the other half of your creative brain, don't let that person go because they get you on some level.
Right, right. I was very lucky to find my producer, Josh Fields. I've been working with him for years, and he was one of the first people to really understand my vision. I sent
Yeah.
him one of my songs once, and it's one of the upcoming releases after
Wait.
Helicopter. And he sent me back something. We had just worked on a couple songs previously, and he goes, "Okay, well, now that we're done, send me more." And I sent him a full song, and I said, "Let me know what you think. I really am envisioning this in a certain style, kind of like the one we just did, but, really along that same vein." And I just made some very very precise comparisons and descriptions
Sure.
about what I wanted to hear. And obviously I had written a lot of the stuff. Every part was finished. I knew what I wanted to hear, but he came back to me with a draft, and I remember crying
Oh,
because
Jesus.
somebody had seen through me. Somebody had seen into my soul and
Yes.
taken out all of the pieces, everything that I had wanted to hear and see and feel when I listened to that song. He had put into that. And that was one of the first times somebody truly translated the exact thoughts that I had in my head. And someone was able to understand my nonsensical John Mayer guitar riff insert here and
I get that. That makes sense.
bright
But I get
horns
you.
cascading down here. And like
Right.
just very even like, I want the applied this here and switch that there. And I want the horn coming over here. Like those weird, tiny little descriptions I don't really expect anybody to fully understand.
Yeah.
Somebody fully understood them. And it was just
Yeah.
a crazy moment, really, to be able to work with someone
Yeah.
that
You gotta
understands you,
put handcuffs to that person. You cannot let them go,
know?
truly. No, really, I mean, I don't need to explain to you why, but it's so rare to have a person that, like, can truly be that other half of your brain. It's so important.
Right, right.
I have a couple more for you, and I wanna know, you've already talked about it a little bit, and you don't have to say anything too much, but, like, we're still very much at the top of this year. So much more time to go. What are
Absolutely.
some of the plans? What are, like, some lofty goals you'd potentially like to hit as well?
Oh, well, you're talking to a big dreamer here. So
Good,
if you ask me, I'll
good.
say the world, but
Can't be a musician in today's age and not have lofty dreams. It's just
right. It
impossible.
doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
No.
So truly, I want to be known. I don't know. I've just been doing this for years. It is something that I have
Yeah,
sunk my heart and soul and time and energy and life into, and I just want to show
totally.
that to the world. I want to show my innermost self to people, and I want to show the craft that I've been working on. So I would just love to be able to show it to as many people as possible and really be that sort of musical comfort for people. I've found a lot of musical comfort in a lot of my favorite artists, and I just always wanted to be that person that people could say that about as well. Really find some sort of connection and comfort in. That's maybe why I tend to write the songs and the topics that
Sure.
I do, because I really want to be relatable to all these people, and I want to talk about the things that we all experience. So I would love to be able to affect people in a great way and to be someone they can listen to and relate to in a lot of
Of
different ways.
course.
So that would be kind of, the smaller version, but I would just love to be performing. I've been a performer my entire life. I've been on
Yeah,
stage forever, performing in bands since I was 10, musical theater since I was like
awesome.
5, and I'm still in a band now. And
Nice.
even for my job, I'm a wedding singer. Like it is
Get
just,
out. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
like it's just all
Okay,
the
cool.
things I
So
want to
yeah,
do.
you've really just like implanted yourself. There's
Exactly. No,
yeah,
I want to be a performer. If it's not obvious enough, I want to be a performer. I want to sing in front of people. Singing live and is just it's a thrill I can't describe, and it's a satisfaction and a love that I just truly can't describe, but it's
yeah,
absolutely exhilarating, and I would just love to be able to continue doing that. I've had dreams my entire life of being on a stage, being on tour, doing this, doing that, putting out singles and doing and just I don't know, I just have a really big dreams of performances. I guess I have to say that.
nice. Well, I mean, yeah, you're shooting for the stars and you have every reason to. Um, Taylor, my last question for you here is basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, what is an opening message you'd like to say to them before they listen to your song for the first time?
I would like to tell people that music is the most universal and loving language that I have ever found. And I'm a language person. I study a lot of languages, and music by far is the most
Yeah,
universal, open, connecting, loving language of them all. And I would just tell people, one, keep listening, because there's a lot of other stuff coming your way,
Yes.
a lot of different stuff, a lot of the same stuff, a lot of stuff that I think that people would really like. But really, listen and try to listen to people's expressions through their music and really attempt to be a person that not only understands people when they talk, but when they sing and when they express themselves, maybe even just through a guitar riff or musically. Listen to people's souls, the way that they come out. And I don't know, music is just definitely a love language, especially for me, and a way to spread love and understanding and culture and everything in the world. So I would just say be open and be willing to experience these things, and please listen more and discover everything you can. And
Yeah,
just, I don't know, it's just such an interesting world. I would say just open yourself up to even genres that you weren't necessarily, you don't like or you don't affiliate yourself with. I still
totally.
try to absolutely immerse myself in every genre, and it is helpful not only as a musician but as a person to hear these
Yes,
things, ways of human expression and ideas, and even again different than a musical vein, just simply hearing a sound you've never heard before in a way you've never heard it
right.
is just opening. It's just mind opening. It's just like taking a class in school. So I would just say absorb everything you can and learn everything you can and look into these people's souls and recognize this vulnerability. And yeah, try to write some songs of your own. I always tell people
Boom.
always laugh at me when I say write your own songs, do this, do that, because they say I want to be able to do this, I can't do this, I can't do that. I
Have you
couldn't.
tried?
Right?
Like,
I
people
I
don't want to
couldn't forever
try.
either. It doesn't come naturally. Like it really
No,
doesn't. Only for a couple people, but it takes time, and it's just a nice way to get your expression out. So I'd say
agreed.
do it. Don't be afraid.
I think you've just given every reason in the book for people to listen to your music and be inspired. I'm serious. Um, Taylor, seriously, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been a fantastic conversation. I knew it would be, but it's gone and beat my expectations. Please let me do you a favor and plug your music for you one more time here.
Please, please.
If you guys didn't hear the first time around, the song is called Helicopter. We will have the links in the article so that you can listen and share and follow along. And by the sounds of it, there's like so much more coming in 2023. So
So much. Look out, everyone. Look
keep
out.
your sights peeled. And I'm excited personally. So yeah, I have nothing more to say other than thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Austin. This has been great. I
Awesome.
really thoroughly enjoyed this, and thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you
Stay
so much.
safe, and I will hopefully talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.